Hello. So I just kind of want to do like a short video because a lot of people ask me about like my heroes and stuff, like how many I use and how many I need and stuff. So I just kind of want to do a short video about like how many heroes you actually need in this game. So I've always been a very strong proponent of like just focusing on like Sebastian, Aurora, Celeste, because I generally think these are the strongest three heroes. I mean, well, they really are just probably the best three heroes in the game, but they are a very, very solid foundation to build around because you get yourself a very solid, like I said, sometimes easier to do, like, let's do a hero challenge, sorry, current. Like I said, so you get yourself a solid tank, healer, and support. Like I said, Sebastian is the best hero in the game. Like, there's just, like I said, he is so important. People, I think, really sleep on him. Like, right, of all the years I've played, like, I've played this game, we're going on to almost 3 years now, like, for past 2.5 years, about 2 and 2/3 years played this game. The release of Sebastian is probably the most significant thing to happen to this game, like, metagame-wise, because he completely changed the entire metagame. Pets are a big deal, but Sebastian, I mattered, changed it more. Ascension hasn't changed it too much. Nebula is better, like, but, Ascension just kind of made all the existing heroes a bit stronger, like added more stats, but didn't really change metagame much. The pets had some effect, but, Sebastian, he changed the entire metagame. Like, like, status effects are really powerful in this game, especially on the higher end, as Mara's get more powerful. Like, Sebastian is such an important part, and he's just such a solid thing and hero. And then, it's like, Celeste is such a great healer, and Aurora's such a great tank, so you have a solid foundation, right? Allows you to, like I said, I actually use Krista and Lars to kind of fill this out. Like, that's the thing with this solid core, you now can add 2 DPSs to it because you have the other roles filled, so now you just fill them with DPS. So a lot of times I use like Lars and Krista, right? This is a very, very good team, right? A lot of people, I said, like, I think I understand this, like, people talk about like defense. Like, defense is kind of a crapshoot on the higher levels because on the higher levels, pretty much any defense team you can put up is pretty easy to beat. If they any players who have like the right heroes, and part of like having the right heroes, like, again, you need Sebastian. Celeste will stop all of her patrons, otherwise you'll time out a lot if you don't have Celeste access to Celeste. Aurora just generally is the most versatile tank and can beat and is good against the largest number of teams and heroes. Right, so I use this this is my most commonly used line. The second most commonly used line I use is Arachnemaya, and this is pretty much with just those 7 heroes. I can beat nearly every team that gets put in my way. Like, I mean, there's not a lot of teams I can't beat. Right, so let's see if we can find any of these, like, battle challenges here that some of my guildmates put up. See, that's auto. Battle challenge, they're max power. Auto, max power, max power. They're all auto. Or max power if they're manual. That won't work. Like, so I could put up a team, but let's see, I have so let's see, like, this team here. What did I beat here? This was a win. This was... Oh, that was a Heidi Isaac team here with Sebastian, Cornelius. Cornelius is probably the dodgy hero here, like, to use, but, right, I used Arachnemaya here. Like, in this, you just, like, so Arachne stun locks teams. Like, with Maya, she bunches them together. You can also use Lars with Arachne really well. Lars Arachne also works really well. That's the other, like, combination. I sometimes use Lars Arachne. Like, Lars in addition to Arachne also works instead of Maya. Sometimes that works better. Because Lars also bunches up the enemy team. But Maya does that too. But part of the reason I use Maya is because I usually use... Let's see, that's the wrong one. That's a defending one. So Maya... Like, so I actually use Biscuit. Biscuit can strip Ode off Sebastian. Like, Sebastian's too ubiquitous. Like, right, Biscuit is about the only... Biscuit on Maya is one of the most efficient ways to actually deal with an enemy Sebastian. So you can try to stun cheese, but again, like, but as soon as the stun wears off, though, Sebastian will Ode again, put that up, then you have to start the process over. So it's not foolproof. It's more of a soft counter. It's not a hard counter. Like, it's some people throw around hard counter, which that's what you call a soft counter. I'll have to do a video about hard counters one day, because there's a difference between the major difference between a soft counter and hard counter. This is what you call a soft counter to Sebastian, but it gets a win. Right, you just lock him down. This is like, look at the power. Like, that's from a near max team, like 176k, 177k, 145, 145, 146. So his Heidi and Aurora have significant ascension work into him. Right, my Aurora is on tier 5. She has one more node left, and like I said, look at his Aurora is almost as strong as Bane. So his Aurora is probably tier 5, depending on what he has. But these are probably tier 5 ascension. So a lot of work there. Let's see, defense. Oh, he had a couple. Here's one. This is so Randlew is the strongest player on the server. Like he has all 56 heroes completely and totally maxed out. Like literally everything that can be maxed out is totally maxed out. Like he has spent an absurd amount on the amount in this game. So this is Rufus. It's actually a twin team. So instead of Sebastian, I actually brought in Morgan. My Morgan is very underdeveloped. And that's the thing about, like I said, I didn't need to bring Sebastian because there is no status effects to counter. And that's the thing. If they don't have any heroes that force you to use Sebastian, it's like getting a 5th hero on your team, which is also why I'm very big on putting status effect heroes like Lars or Arachne or something on my defending teams, because it's like allows you to pretty much get you an extra hero. Because if you don't put like that. Right, a lot of time, because then you force the other team to use Sebastian if you have a status effect hero on your defending team. Like, see this one? I dropped because I don't need Sebastian. It's easy for me to put Morgan with my twins and Celeste Aurora here, and honestly get a fairly easy win. Let's speed this up because we're just going to take some time, because Rufus does have a lot of life. Like I said, if my Morgan is a bit stronger, this would probably be quicker, because her minions would actually do some damage. But like I said, pretty easy. Difference between, like I said, hard counter, soft counter. Morgan is a hard counter to Rufus. She completely shuts him down with her necromancy skill because he cannot res. It doesn't matter if you kill him pure damage or magic damage. He still can't res if Morgan's alive with my necromancy. But yeah, my Morgan is only 120k with all of her patrons, so pretty weak. Like I said, fairly on the lower end. She's like I said, I've invested enough into her to be useful against Rufus. Eventually, I'll probably want to do more, but like I said, so there's an example here. There's George here. Let's see what, I don't even remember what this was. This is another one. This is just a Trinity Twins. Like this one, I actually did bring Sebastian here. Like, Anvari does do status effects. They're not major, but they are stuns. And against Dante, you do not want to be stunned, because then you can't dodge if you're stunned. So that would be bad. So we do have Sebastian here to protect against Anvari stuns. And like I said, Twins, even though Anvari is kind of a counter to the Twins, like this is pretty much an easy route. And again, Georgia, another really powerful player that was like another million power team. Like I said, you see all these heroes have pretty significant ascension work in it. Like my Lars does not have any ascension work into him, and you can see the power difference. Like ascension adds like 30-40k power to a hero between the branch and the tree, the personal branch. I have not done the mage branch or Lars personal glyph really, so he's like 40k behind, like said 30k behind, like 40k. So like I said, Celeste also mage. You can see there's I have 25 ranks into tank and 46 ranks into support. My Sebastian is like tier 4, I believe. So you can kind of see like the discrepancy, but also there's like Aurora does have 2 more skins, but you can definitely see the difference there. Like Ascension's like another 30k power in stuff. So you can tell all these guys have significant work into Ascension. If you add that up, that's almost a million power team. Like mine's like almost like 970k, 980k, almost a million power team. So these are million power teams. So I got a win there, and that's just kind of what you got. Like I said, defense is kind of a crapshoot. I just do have, like I said, Ranlu, of course, took a spot back on the defensive end. But I do have a slightly different. I just use Kane there just because I don't really use Kane too much in Guild Wars. Axel is generally the best defending pet. I mean, sometimes I'll use Kane on attack, but usually almost never on defense. But sometimes he's good on attack versus like a Dante tank team, because Dante comes out fast. But those are some examples. Like, and generally, like I said, pretty much just use those 7 heroes. Like I said, I brought in Morgan for that one fight. Occasionally, I might use like Thea or Martha if I can't really use Celeste or something, or if I don't need Sebastian, I have the option of bringing another healer. That's pretty much the only time. But pretty much like so. Right, so if we have pretty much 12 heroes, I even have like investment. I almost never use Jew or Isaac in Guild Wars. Isaac's a very, very, very good hero, but I almost never use him in Guild Wars. Like, I don't actually need him for anything. Like, he's really good versus magic. He's a great defending hero. I use him on defense a lot more than I use on an offense. So I just put him on defense, but for the most part, you really don't need to invest in a lot of heroes. Like I said in my other video a while back, like, you could probably get by, like, if you want to be participating in guild raids and guild wars, like you could probably get by at just 8 heroes. Like you do the Holy Trinity, and then you also do like your heroes you need for the boss. So you got that 7 heroes with Celeste and Aurora, and then you can add. Then you probably want Thea for like the minions. So there's 8. And then So there's 8 heroes, and then you can add like 2 more heroes for DPS. So that's 10 heroes. Like, and for the most part, there's not a lot of reason to really invest in a lot more heroes than that. Like, it's more about being frugal, being focused. Like, rather than investing in like 50 different heroes, like just focus on like 7 or 8 heroes. That are useful in a variety of situations, that are the most versatile you can get. Like I said, Aurora, Sebastian, Celeste, a great core to build around. Like I said, and then you can add like heroes like Isaac and Jew, Martha, whatever, that are good for the Osh the Keeper fight. Like I said, and then just focus on your pets. Like the rest of your resources, like instead of focus on heroes, just focus on pets. Like pets matter a lot. A maxed out pet is like adding 2 skins to a hero stat wise. So, like I said, that's like 2 extra. That's like 2 fully max skins. That's a lot of stats. Plus, you get the cool bonuses on the patron ability. So pets are kind of like, rather than focus on a bunch of heroes, just focus on like 7 or 8 heroes. Get them up to as much as you can. Then put all the rest of your resources in pets. That's kind of like put your focus in pets. That's my recommendation for most people. Like I said, you don't need to invest in 15 or 25 heroes or anything like. That's completely and totally unnecessary. Just focus on like 7 or 8 heroes. Anyway, I hope you guys found this video informative. Thank you for watching.